Entrepreneurs. Welcome to episode 406 of The Law Entrepreneur. I'm Neil Tyra, your co host, with my good friend Sam Mollaei. And Sam, today we have an outstanding episode and show to talk about. This is right in my wheelhouse because, as anybody who's ever listened to me knows, I'm an Apple fanboy from the first Apple product ever made. And, well, maybe not technically the first because the Apple One and Apple Two computers were out before the Mac. But I owned the very first
Well,
Apple Macintosh, which I wish I still had. 128K Mac that you lugged around from room to room, from office to office, and I really wish I still had that one. And I probably had every Apple product thereabouts since. So this is going to be really good for me. Why don't you tell the audience what we have in mind?
so this episode is definitely for iPhone and Apple users. Just a couple of weeks ago, Apple had their Apple Developer Conference, which took place over 3 days, and a lot of these changes is as pretty obviously is AI. AI is finally coming to Apple. There was a bunch of updates, and there's literally hundreds of updates, but today we'll be sharing with you the top 7 biggest updates that are coming to your iPhone, to your MacBook, and to your iPads.
Yeah. And so, um, for those people who follow this in the industry, this was a long awaited announcement from Apple. In fact, some people were getting pretty antsy about their lack of movement in the AI front and worrying that Apple was ceding the market to their competitors who were more aggressively pursuing the use of machine learning in the products that they were generating. But what was clear, and I think this is, if you, again, I'm an Apple fanboy, so I make it, this is my view, not everybody's. But I think what one of the things that set Apple apart is they don't ever jump into anything in a rush or haphazardly. They think it all through, and they think it through their entire ecosystem. And so what I think happened here at the WWDC was that uh, they were now ready to present it to the world. And as you said, these are 7 points. There, if you go to their event and watch their event or download the press release from the event, you're going to see that there's literally hundreds of updates to their software suite across all products in their ecosystem. So it's a really kind of exciting time, and I like what they've done. So let's talk about the first one.
The first one is Apple Intelligence, which is a play on words with AI. I think that was to their benefit to have AI and kind of match
Yeah.
that. It's an AI system that will basically know everything about you, and that basically the idea is AI will tap into your phone and your laptop for all the information it needs about you. Um, and now when people hear that, obviously there's a lot of data privacy concerns. Neil, you
Yeah.
want to talk about that, and then we'll share what Apple is saying about this.
Yeah, I think that is uh, the number one concern that people have. You know, we always hear lay people talk about, I think my phone is listening to me, or I think Facebook is listening to me. I think that they're tailoring their ads based on a conversation I had with a friend. That's creepy. I don't like that. When they realize it's not necessarily how it's being done. Um, and of all the platforms, Apple, Google, Microsoft, to name the kind of the top three, or Amazon as well, they add them as four. Uh, my personal opinion is Apple pays the biggest attention to privacy and data concerns. I mean, remember, just it wasn't so long ago that we had a lot of news coverage because of some things that happened in criminal setting on the West Coast there, and the authorities got the phone of these people that they labeled as terrorists, and may well have been, and the question boiled down to, could they force Apple to open the phone up and allow that data on that phone to be used in the criminal investigation. Now, that sparked an enormous amount of controversy. And, there's a couple sides to that issue. But the fact of the matter is that, in my opinion, and I think that's a perfect example of how Apple puts a premium on data privacy. And what they've promised here and demonstrated is that for Apple Intelligence, the Apple's implementation of AI, is that all the data that's collected is going to be stored on your device. It's not going up into the cloud. It's not going on to Apple's server. The data itself that allows your tool, either your phone or your iPad or your laptop, the data that allows it to the machine learning to occur is going to stay stored locally, and that's a very important aspect of this.
Yeah, that was the one big thing that they shared. And they've been for years, I think since like 5 or 6 years ago, kind of pushing that privacy kind of as part of their mission statement. So as you mentioned,
You remember when they had the touch identification, where you, like my laptop right here, I reach up instead of logging in, there's a fingerprint identification. Well, people were just petrified that their fingerprints were going to go up in the cloud and get distributed, all around the world. When in point of fact, Apple made it absolutely clear that the fingerprint itself is stored on the device. And so the same is true here with the AI systems.
Yeah, and the second part is that they shared is your data is used only for your requests. So they're on the background. I guess they're not, taking all that information and just feeding their own machines. It's only used for your purposes.
For tailoring your experience.
Correct.
That's exactly right.
And my kind of take is, Google already knows everything about you. Your Gmail is in the hands of Google. Your pictures is in the hands of Apple and Google. If you use Google Photos, it's all the information is already exposed. So, I don't think that these companies they're not singling anybody out. They're just collective. It's a collective kind of privacy concerns, not necessarily you being singled out. So if you're kind of concerned about that, then I would say don't have a Gmail account or a Google account because you're already exposed on those platforms.
And look, and it's a valid point for a lot of people. I get it, but I'm of the opinion that horse is already out the barn. And so what we want to do is manage this process, manage this technology as best we can, and use it to our own, for our own purposes.
Yeah, and along with this Apple Intelligence, Siri can understand you better. You can also type to Siri because Apple realized that a lot of people just want to interact with AI just through texting. People are not comfortable. We talked about this in one of our previous episodes. Yeah. It's kind of uncomfortable speaking to AI. It's awkward. I don't know, whatever. It's kind of awkward. So that's coming out. And it's also other big thing, which is huge, is Apple Intelligence is going to be on-screen aware. It means it will understand what's on your screen. So there's a certain conversation you're already having, there's a certain picture, whatever that is, then you're able to kind of incorporate a chatbot or Siri to be able to ask it questions, clarify things based on whatever's on your screen. And eventually, this is something that I'm excited about, and it's the part of AI that I think will be most impactful is when Siri is able to do things for you, control your iPhone, and when you ask it to do something. So it's kind of it's AI plus actions being done, and that's something that I'm kind of when I went to the ABA Tech Show. These are the types of questions that I was asking, and the AI speakers couldn't even answer it because there's nothing really out there. There's no, examples of these things. But that's where I'm kind of like looking at right now. How
So
can AI? Yeah.
if you're familiar with Apple shortcuts, so what they've done, and they were already going in that direction, is integrating Siri and Apple shortcuts. And Apple shortcuts allows you to manipulate your phone and apps on the phone. But now that with the Apple Intelligence component, now there's going to be able to have even more robust operations take place, and ones that are able to learn from, as we said, from what's on your screen, what you're typing into it. You're gonna be able to do way more things and control much more data through this kind of process, and have a much better experience.
All right, let's go to AI update number 2. Is that ChatGPT is now officially integrated with Apple devices. This was a big shock because Microsoft owns ChatGPT. And the way that I kind of see this playing out is Apple realized that, oh shoot, we haven't created our own language model. So in order for us to not really fall behind, let's partner up with our competitor. Let's kind of have their tool be used on our platform. And yeah, let's take advantage of that. So, but that's like a big shock if you really understand like what the dynamics of and the history of Microsoft versus Apple. That was kind of like a big deal. But good benefits for us is now be able to use one of the best LLMs in the world on our Apple devices. That's natively integrated.
What I'm interested in seeing is whether or not you're going to be able to tell when native Apple applications are accessing ChatGPT on the back end. That's what I'm really interested in, because when we get to that level of integration, then you'll start to see that the tools that we use are just an extension of our that's not our thinking, and it'll be just that much more capable.
Totally. And just continue with what you just shared. Number 3, third update is new AI writing tools across your Mac apps to use AI to write emails, summarize, rewrite, proofread, suggest responses and tones, and so many other things. Anywhere, wherever you're typing text on your computer or on your iPhone, now AI will be able to come in and make those things better.
Yeah, the way I looked at that was, if you're a Grammarly user, think of Grammarly on steroids, and also a Grammarly type capability that is personalized to you, right, and to your experiences. And that's why I think it's gonna be pretty powerful.
Everyone's writing is going to get better overnight.
And frankly, that's the area I believe you're going to see the biggest use. People are going to, some of the other things, folks may not take advantage of, but everybody is using their Apple product to write emails and to take notes and to edit PDFs and work on their word processing documents. And that's where I think you're going to see the benefits of the Apple Intelligence come to the forefront in the most obvious way.
And especially, I think this is super useful for us lawyers. Our writing will get more refined and easier.
God knows we could use it.
Definitely. Number 4, everybody loves emojis. Well, emojis is about to go to the next level, and that's called Gen Emoji. It's an AI-generated emojis and text effects. Essentially, you'll be able to type out any emoji you want and be able to kind of make your own emojis on the fly.
Yeah, I'm a little leery of this one. I think people are gonna have a lot of fun with it. Part of it is I'm not a big emoji guy, so it didn't really mean a lot to me. But you ask anybody, younger than me, which is damn near most everybody because I'm really, really old, um, emojis are a big part of their experience. And this new Genmoji concept that allow you to basically get kind of creative and create these emojis that are, again, personalized contextually to your experience is going to be pretty fun to watch.
Neil, I'm gonna be using these in my ads, these Gen emojis. So I'm excited for that use.
Oh, okay. Okay. I hadn't thought about that. That
Number
that's
f-
cool.
Number 5 is AI can now clean up images and remove people from your photos. When was the last time you took a photo? You're like, this picture would be perfect if that thing wasn't in there. Well, you never have to worry
Right.
about that ever again.
Yeah. Yeah. That's a photo editing capability that, um, you know, a couple of years ago would just sound like science fiction. And we see it, their competitors are making a big deal about this when they show the folks, taking a group image and circling one person and that person goes away out of the image. And it's smoothed over and all of that works, perfectly. I think that's going to be really powerful, and help you create better images that you can use however you choose to use them. Um, I do wonder a little bit, here I'm arguing both sides of the coin, I do wonder a little bit whether or not there's, a possibility for this being used for less than honorable reasons. And I don't want to give too much oxygen to that, but we'll see what happens.
We shall see. Number 6 is AI powered call transcripts. Basically, transcriptions coming to iPhone users. You could transcribe your calls. You can summarize audio recordings. It's just so you go to a lecture, you just leave on your voicemail recording, and then turn into AI natively right on your phone, and it will give you a summary or the top 5 takeaways. I think that'll be game changing for a lot of students or people that sit in lectures. Leave your phone, leave, come back, get the takeaways.
Yeah, I think this is another one of the most powerful, experiences that we're going to have. In a year from now, Sam, we're going to be saying, well, yeah, this is old hat because now everybody's doing this. Everybody and their mother is getting, transcripts generated and summarized. And I just think it's going to be such a useful tool.
And number 7, the best update and my favorite is you can now mirror your phone on your Mac. You can now mirror your phone on your Mac. This is a very, very, very big deal. For those Apple users who have both the Apple iPhone and they have a MacBook, one of the biggest perks of having both is that you can text on your computer. And that's for me, it's very, very important. It allows me to communicate very quickly with my team or whoever that I'm dealing with throughout the day without being distracted with my phone. I usually have my notifications off, but when I open up my message app, it's all my communication is there. Quickly type out my responses, get that out, and communicate very clearly. Well, now you take that kind of concept with just your texts, and you just imagine all your apps. You order an Uber, you're on your computer. You need to send out a message inside your Uber app. Well, you don't have to take out your phone to do that. Deliveries, whatever you think about, any kind of Mac, any kind of Apple app that you already use on your phone, you'll have a live feed of that on your computer.
Yeah, again, I think it's going to be a game changer because, you know, most of the innovation in the Apple ecosphere has been on the phone and the iPad, and not necessarily on, at least in terms of software, not necessarily in terms of their, laptops or desktop computers. And you can see that when you have applications that only exist on your phone and your iPad, and that application does not exist on your laptop. Now, in a lot of cases, you could go to a website on the laptop, but it wasn't always the same experience. Now you're going to have the exact same experience on your Mac as you do on your phone or iPad. And it's a seamless integration, so all the data is up to date. It's not like, some cases previous to this, you have products on the different platforms, and they would have to talk and integrate the data amongst them, either on a proprietary way or maybe through iCloud. But now it's going to be right there on the laptop or your desktop. So I think it's a huge change.
Yeah, that's pretty exciting, and probably hundreds and hundreds of other updates. Little updates are coming. These are just the top 7 that I thought would be the
Oh
most
yeah,
impactful
like I
for
said,
us. Yeah,
if you watch the whole presentation and get the press release, I mean it's literally hundreds.
it could be overwhelming, but hopefully we'll be able to kind of summarize all those biggest takeaways for you. And again, if you're a lawyer and you haven't joined our lawyer community, it's a free community where you're able to get access to literally thousands of free resources, every possible resource you could possibly think about. We already built it over the last 4.5 years. All you have to do is go to joinlawyerclub.com to join our free community. And if you need help growing your law firm, setting up tracking, getting more clients, setting up automations, implementing more AI into your practice, we have a program called mylegalacademy.com. Just go there, book a call to speak to us. My team is pretty robust. We made 3 hires just last week, Neil, to our support team. These are people who are trained in marketing and sales and conversions, the intake and automations and AI, with specialties for these specific fields, who come and set up all these systems for you. So if you're a lawyer, definitely check out both of those websites, and we look forward to continuing this conversation and this relationship together.
Yeah, just to be clear, when we talked earlier about some of the last week, the previous episode about biggest mistakes people make, I hear it all the time. Well, yeah, I'd love to do all that. Who am I going to get to do that for me? I can't. I don't have enough time to do that, or I don't have enough staff to do that. Well, Lawyer Club is a great place to start to get a jump on that and to leverage those types of capabilities. And then My Legal Academy, it's there for you to take advantage of. And you don't have to answer that question. Who's going to help me with this? Who's going to show me how? Who's going to help me leverage this? They are My Legal Academy. So I absolutely endorse that.
Appreciate it. All right, everybody. We have a lot more topics to talk about in our next episode. There's a couple over here that I have right now, right off camera. Me and Neil are going to finalize those. But we appreciate you tuning in. Please, if you haven't already, please leave us a review. Neil has such a great job of collecting so many amazing positive reviews on this Apple podcast. If you can, please take a moment to leave us a review. And we'll also set up a system for you for this to be interactive, for you to be able to ask us questions, any particular topics you want us to cover, or whatever things you want to share with us. We'll try to set that up and we'll share it with you. Thank you so much. We appreciate you, and we'll speak to you. We'll see you soon.
Thanks for having me, Sam.